Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. The greatest show of all time. We're back and we're ready to roll. And the mussy is the bussy, and I don't know why. I don't know why. So we're back. We're doing our thing. We're doing the greatest show ever. Can that be? How can that be? Oh my God. Now we have two members. We got Michael Donaldson and we got Yager's Farm, two of the newest members of the show. We all obviously want to welcome them in on the show, and it's good to have them. They've honestly been some of the best dudes you could ever have on the show, without a doubt. Oh, a little tired. I got a lot of sun today. I took a walk around downtown with my camera and ran into an anti-Trump rally, and I thought, oh shit, I didn't know they were still doing this shit. So I went down to the anti-Trump rally where there was basically just boomers, and that was it. Just a bunch of boomers everywhere. And yeah, rapped about how much I love Joe Biden. Yeah, the fact there was like nobody there was hilarious. These people are so dedicated to the cause. It's like, you know, as somebody who loves economics, it pains me that Social Security is such an accepted program. It's a Ponzi scheme. That's what I really want to call it at the end of the day, and that's what it actually is. Oh. What can you do? Probably react to a few videos here. We'll go to YouTube real fast. It's usually where we need to go. Hope you all are having a blast. Oh, my boy, dude. So, my boy, Jordan Nawat, well, nobody,
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
uploaded a video. Let's take a quick reaction. We'll do a quick reaction to my homie.
Very funny, Limu.
I do enjoy his show on YouTube. It's very fun, and
just as the title says, this is the story about during this channel's lifetime, how I was able to get monetized in less than 90 days. Twice.
That's honestly
but
impressive.
I need to say this now. This doesn't happen to everyone, and everyone's creator journey is different. So if you're an inspiring content creator, please do not try to use this as a one-on-one reflection on you or your creator journey. And remember, in comparison, I'm still a small channel in this pond known as...
He's doing a good job, though. That's the one thing I've been trying to encourage him to keep on doing it, because he has a lot of confidence. I will say that. That's the one thing I love about my boy, dude. He has a lot of confidence. And by the way, I'm really sunburnt, so it's probably tough to take me seriously right now. I look like a fucking tomato. But let's see. But yeah, this is my boy, dude. He got monetized. I think he got fully monetized. It's funny because I've been monetized in the sense that I get super chats and all that stuff for a while. But at the same time, it's very frustrating because, like, I just recently got very, very close to hitting the required watch hour time to get watch time ads and stuff like that. So I'm about there. But it's really cool to see. Like, I've been really rooting for my man Jordan on this one. So let's just take a quick peek and see what he's talking about. And I won't watch the whole video, but we'll get a good gist of what's going on here. Make sure you guys subscribe to Nobody at Nobody Has Spoken. Let's watch the video.
YouTube and content creation, okay? All right? Now, there are some contexts that I am purposely leaving, I'm going to leave out, but if you want that context, it will be in the video, at the end of this video, or I'll put it in the description. It'll just say context in the description, and it'll be the only video that pops up at the end of this video during the end screen stuff. So we're going to start from the very beginning, because
I'm just going to say I'm really loving the piano. I'm loving the piano music my man added to it. Very cool. Very suave. I like that. I will admit the fact that the fact that my boy wears a mask, it's kind of cool. It gives him that incognito look. So it just kind of keeps him private to the best of his ability, you know. I think somebody had doxed him or whatever at one point, but yeah, I'm honestly proud of him. As the fact that he's got channel memberships now, that's even cooler. So he's got the channel memberships; he can get money off that every month. Actually, you know what? How much does it cost to join? I'm not actually gonna join his channel or anything. Okay, $4.99 a month. All right. How many subscribers does he have? Does it say? Or members, I should say. How many members does he have? Let's see. Okay, he's got some funny emojis. It looks like he's got like... Okay, good. I'm getting some inspiration, by the way. I do the best artist steal. And if I want to be the best artist, I gotta steal. So I gotta figure out what my boy's doing for custom emojis and kind of, I wouldn't say mimic completely. His channel's way different from mine in the sense that he talks about like more the gaming world and that sort of thing, and which I think is great, by the way. I think it's just do some yeah. But yeah, I think it's fantastic, and let's keep going.
You will only know about the most recent 90 days, but you don't know about these 90 days. And as you can tell, 3 years ago, in 90 days or so, I was able to reach 1,000 subscribers and reach the 4,000 watch time hour requirements, and over 100,000 views on just one video. What was this channel
Pretty
before?
impressive.
Was the channel known as Nobody? Well, it's a little embarrassing, but it was a red pill manosphere clip channel called Krusty the Sock.
I'm just gonna stop it right there. Krusty the Sock. Holy shit, my man. Oh my! I love it though. That's like the best part about it. Like that's too fucking funny, man. Dude, he's great. No Watney, my boy. And we got Tim Smith in the house. Hold on, Tim. I'm gonna try to get your bussy on here real quick. Gotta get the bussy. We gotta get Tim's bussy. We gotta get all the mussies. Tim's mussy. We gotta get Michael Donaldson's mussy. We gotta get Yager's Farms mussy. We need everybody's mussy to be a part of this. Hold on. Please like the video and become a channel member today. We'll pin the message here, and then we'll put out the pop-up chat. Don't worry, Tim. I see you, dog. I see you, man. Give me 1 second here. We'll read off the... I'm going to show the comments here in just a second. All right, here we go. So Tim is saying celebrating the LA riots with some tear gas street corn. You can't deport them. So wait, I've been living under a rock, I guess. There's been riots in LA. I mean, I guess doesn't surprise me that there are riots in LA. Let me take a look at these LA riots. Is this like a recent thing? We're talking about Los Angeles, right? Not Louisiana. LA riots. Today, let's see. Oh shit. Wow. Okay. Jordan, Mr. Nobody. As much as I love watching your shit, I got to put you on the back burner. I had no idea there were massive riots in LA going on. This is breaking fucking news. I was going to talk about the Trump and Elon divorce, but this is a bit crazy. Damn. I want to talk about my portfolio here in a little bit as well, but this happened 2 hours ago? Really? Sorry, folks. I had to drink a little bit of water, a little bit of lemonade. Holy shit, man. Let's take a look here and see what's going on. Actually, because it's a little easier, because it's tough to read on these, we're just going to, I mean, I can read it, but you guys aren't going to be able to see the text. We might as well watch a video. So, LA riots. Jesus. What is happening now? Let's see. Oh, I don't really trust the Today Show, but we're just gonna.
Not a traditional cafe. We're completely.
I'm actually surprised the
and my
Today Show
website really has to capture the same magic.
That is some breaking news overnight. Protests erupted in the streets of Los Angeles after immigration officials conducted several raids and arrested dozens of people on Friday.
Tim Smith says, finally got my Blackstone griddle up and running. Made Philly cheesesteaks earlier. I now have a restaurant at my house. Hell yeah, brother. Get it, my man. Get it. Dude, I dig it, man. You're basically able to make whatever you fucking want. You get a good griddle going. Hell yeah. It's kind of what my Ninja is. It's like almost like it's a mixture between like an indoor grill and a griddle, kind of. It's not as flat as a griddle, though. That's the thing. But damn, dude, get it. It's funny. By the way, Tim, did you catch my Seven Devils review? I did a review of the Seven Devils Groundswell. I think it was no more than like 3 hours ago, I believe. Maybe 4. It might have been 4 hours ago, but it was one of the live videos that I had done earlier. And I was out and about and just decided it'd be best to, first off, I invaded an anti-Trump rally. It was basically a bunch of boomers there, as usual. And I was rapping about my love of Joe Biden, of course, as I always do, because I love Joe Biden. Tim Smith says, yeah, I put a message when you were there, but you didn't see it. I was trying to have you get a JD Vance chant. Yeah, it's possible. I was trying to actually keep on top of the chats, but I was really in the zone. I was too busy kind of going cray, man. They say, yeah, I was trying my best to read what I could, but yeah, I did after I was at the anti-Trump protest. I did a Seven Devils Groundswell review, and it was awesome. It's a good beer. It's honestly one of the best beers, and anybody who comes down to Coos Bay and wants to try a really, really good IPA, I mean, Groundswell's top of the line in my opinion. But anyway, let's finish this. We'll see what's going. I have no idea what's going on with these LA eruptions, these LA protests. So we shall see what is happening here.
NBC's Steve Patterson is in LA with more on this. Steve, good morning.
Loud.
Yeah, Joe, tense night here in LA with at times fully armored authorities in riot gear facing off with protesters after a day of these flashpoints at these federal immigration raids. Take a look at this. The raids starting in the morning with federal employees targeting a clothing wholesaler. The video here, dramatic. Dozens of agents fully geared, often in multiple armored trucks, using flashbangs, deploying pepper spray on a crowd, attempting to block vehicles. These flashpoints then continuing throughout the day. In all, federal agents executing 4 search warrants at 3 locations across central Los Angeles, resulting in 45 arrests. The action culminating in a protester standoff with LAPD officers lining up downtown, facing off against demonstrators after authorities ordered crowds to disperse around nightfall. Police there declaring an unlawful assembly, ordering about 200 protesters to break up at about 7 with the use of less lethal munitions authorized after officials say a smaller, more violent group started throwing pieces
Oh,
of
Trump's in the
concrete
arena in New
at
Jersey. What a
officers.
beast.
No
BRB,
sign reported at this
get
time
your
on the
laundry done, my
severity of
man, dude.
injuries
Get it.
on either side so far.
Gotta get
And
it.
Steve, I know while all this was happening in the streets, there was also this battle really being waged between politicians in LA and the White House in Washington. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, another standoff online, so to speak. Both Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass weighing in, with Newsom saying the administration's chaos is tearing families apart, and Mayor Bass saying she is deeply angered in a tactic that's...
Oh, Mayor Bass, nobody likes you. God, she's awful. She is awful. Ugh. Let's keep going.
sows terror and that we will, quote, not stand for this. White House top aide Stephen Miller responding, you have no say. Federal law is supreme and will be enforced. Joe?
All right, Steve Patterson reporting from LA. Steve, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today.
Today's show is a bunch of crock. Let's see what else we got. Oh shit, dude. Day 2 of the protests. This is wild, man. That's fake news. MSNBC is the fakest of all news. It's terrible. This guy sucks. Chris Hayes is such a cuck. I hate that guy. Guy's awful. Well, I hate CNN, but let's take a look at what's... I would rather watch CNN than MSNBC, if we're going to be honest, but they're both shitty networks at the end of the day. I don't know, nobody watches the mainstream media anymore.
Breaking news out of Los Angeles, where the FBI says it is investigating clashes between law enforcement and demonstrators. These clashes began Friday when crowds gathered around federal law enforcement officers carrying out immigration raids in that area. And today, right now, we're seeing police using tear gas and flashbangs to clear the crowds.
Smart.
California Assemblymember Jose Luis Salache, who witnessed what was unfolding there.
I think I hate Los Angeles just so much that seeing this happen just doesn't faze me. It sucks that people are getting tear gas, though. You don't like to see that shit, but Los Angeles is so flippin' annoying. Let's keep watching.
He's joining us now on the phone. Assemblyman, thank you so much for...
I'm just not gonna lie. Most delusional people of all time can't stand I don't know what it is about. You know, I mean, maybe the sun shines just makes you feel good about the world, and you know, maybe I've been living in a cold climate for too long. Maybe it's made me a bit better, possibly. Well, let's take a look.
Being here with us. I know you represent the area, Paramount, where we've been seeing some of this happen. Explain to us, describe to us what you saw today.
Correct. I've been here since 9 a.m. when we first saw the agents drive up to my community. I was actually on the freeway with one of the vans from Border Patrol, and then I did a U-turn type of situation. I followed them, and they were here in my community. There were 7 agents waiting to open their fence. Throughout the morning, there's about 60 different vehicles I've driven in there. 25 of them plus are Border Patrol logo vehicles, and then about 30 plus vehicles were unmarked vehicles, SUVs. And right now, I'm here in with my community. There's about 60 Border Patrol agents. They're there with guns. They're there, they're having a staging process. Of course, communities out here strong, opposing these raids in our community in Los Angeles. I represent this district, and our community is strongly here opposing this.
And we're looking at live video while you're talking. I see a lot of smoke. There were some small fires, it looked like. In the distance from where we're looking at on this video, we can see people who appear to be gathered together, and we're seeing some sort of agents as well. We had a spokesperson from DHS saying that that these protesters were in a sense violent, that's what they're trying to push back against. Has that been your experience?
There's definitely a variety of demonstrators. I have to be objective here, and there's some people that are, of course, are angry, they're passionate.
Yeah. Basically, you're saying that a lot of these protesters are pieces of garbage, and that's fine, they are. And a lot of them are just getting angry for no reason because they suck.
About why they're
And they're liberal. Not even liberal, they're just authoritarians that have no power. You know what authoritarians hate more than anything? Is not being able to control your life. And these people who are protesting are people that don't deserve power of any kind. Just power over their own lives. That's all they deserve.
Agents are here, and you have a variety of folks that obviously are here peacefully, and there are people who are a little more aggressive, and that's just being objective. But of course, community is upset of why they're even here in our community.
Right.
And I represent a very high immigrant, high undocumented community in my district, which we're proud of the work that we all contribute to this country. These are not criminals; these are people that are hardworking.
I'm sorry, they're still undocumented. Sorry, that's so annoying. Like, it's still illegal. You can't just cross into somebody's border. If I crossed into Mexico's border, if I crossed into some border, any border, Canadian border, I don't have any papers to say that I'm a citizen of that country. Therefore, I'm what's called an invader, or at least a passport of some kind, right? That allows me to be there for a bit because I'm just a tourist. It's annoying.
People that are contributing. And of course, that's what people are angry about. You're going to come and take, you're doing raids and looking for people that are at their workplace, at contributing to this country, and they're not criminals. So that's what people are upset about.
Here's the thing. No, they are. That's the point that nobody's talking about. If you come into this country illegally, you're a criminal. There's nothing else that needs to be said. This is why Trump won. This is why Trump won. He actually won the Latino vote as well. Because you know why he won the Latino vote? Is because Latinos who came in to the country legally are like, no, you need to come in through the legal channels the same way that I did. There's a reason that Trump is so popular. Because Biden and Kamala left the gates open and said, come on in. It's okay. And no. Fuck that. Nope. Nope. I think it's ridiculous. And I think what's happening right now is justified. It saddens me, though, that the guy that's on the phone of the California State Assembly or whatever, look, you're a criminal if you trespass into another country that you don't belong to. It's the truth. Let's continue.
Including myself.
Sad. This guy this guy right here, whoever this guy is supposedly a part of some government bureaucracy of some kind. Yet he doesn't realize that, if you come into this country without you plan to live here, you need to go through the proper channels. There's a reason that these channels exist. It's to prevent, we can't just let everybody in. I'm sorry, Mexico sucks. You need to figure something out about your government. Your government is overrun by the drug cartels. It's a testament. So, as Latino as I am, I think that my culture sucks, if we're going to be quite honest. Let's see. Tim Smith says ICE migrant Home Depot parking lot brawl. I want to see it. It'll probably happen. I wouldn't be surprised. Pretty sure the Home Depots have been empty for a while.
And it's 2:02 there, Los Angeles time, where you are. How long do you expect this to go on? Does it appear that this is going to continue?
I made my own calls to, of course, the governor's office, to folks that we need to de-escalate this. They need to send these people home so that our community can go home and stop this. And we need to de-escalate the situation because people are upset. I don't know how long it's going to be here. I came here since 9 a.m. myself with community, and they've been standing their stage there. And we've seen throughout the morning different vehicles leaving the facility. And so we have a feeling that they're doing raids throughout the LA, Los Angeles area.
And we have word now that the FBI is investigating what's going on. Have you seen any FBI agents or anyone like that where you are?
Not as of now. Again, I've seen Border Patrol vests and uniforms that they're wearing, the agents, with gas. And of course, they've been gassing people as they get close to them. Anytime that vehicles leave the facility or the parking lot, they throw they're gassing people so they can move away from the area, and so these vehicles leave the premises.
And
but I have not seen anyone from the FBI here yet.
Yeah. How often would you say you're hearing these flashbangs or seeing this tear gas deployed?
Are there any bats? No. Are there any snakes? Nope. You sure?
This is interesting, man. I just don't know what to think about this. I'm a little bit shocked. My reaction is a little shock and awe, if I'm going to be quite honest. Here's the problem, man. I mean, like, the guy saying that these undocumented people are not criminals, I mean, is a contradiction, to say the least. And it's ridiculous. But it blows my mind. Like, you know that they came here illegally, but they're not criminals, huh? That's a criminal behavior. Like, if I break into somebody's house, right? I go into their house and I start sleeping on their sofa. I start trying to live there. That's a problem. I'm not supposed to be there. They haven't welcomed me in their house. They haven't had any agreement with me to be living there. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It just blows my mind that people don't. That it's criminal behavior. What's happening? Yeah, so honestly, the whole raids, I'm not against it at all, to be honest.
It's been throughout the morning. To be honest with you, I actually was close to them, just monitoring the situation. I was affected myself earlier because they were shooting toward the area where I was standing. Of course, I ran through that, and it was the first time I ever got gas in my eyes, and of course, the coughing. So it's my first time experiencing it. It's not a good feeling.
And have you seen anyone be detained or arrested?
We did see about 4 people that were arrested that were demonstrators. They were on this side of the fence demonstrating. Again, I can't justify why they were being detained, but obviously they were demonstrating against the agents being here physically in our community.
Yeah, and again, just
first off, they're there for a reason. They're there because your stupid, incompetent governor is allowing whoever to come through, whoever they want to come through. It has to stop. So I'm fine with you'd think because I'm Latino I wouldn't be, but no, I'm fine with this. Because it's like at a certain point this needs to stop. And I'm not talking about the ICE raids. I'm just talking about the open border policy. We've done a good job closing off the border, thank goodness, but
to underscore what you were saying, it sounds like, based on your description, that the demonstrators that are gathering range in peaceful demonstrators to some who are being more aggressive, who are physically pushing
Richard
back.
Cook says, "You dog." Okay.
They've been upset. I've seen that they get closer to the agent.
Richard, do you want to be a member? You guys anybody want to be a member of the Michael Garza show, the greatest show of all time? And that's kind of a lie. We try to be the greatest, the GOAT. Richard Cook says, I have zero clue what gibberish you just wrote down.
Of course, right? So of course the agents are doing their part to show their part, right? but people are demonstrating, and there's a lot of peaceful demonstration, but there are people that obviously are just upset, and they're showing their anger through that. I have encouraged people through my social media to please be peaceful as they're demonstrating. Do not use violence. That's not what we want to do. We don't want to add to the narrative. We want to make sure that people are demonstrating. We live in a democratic process where people can express their feelings and how they're...
Dude, they're all standing in the middle of the street. Look, even if you're protesting, you can't be blocking traffic. This is stupid. Protest if you want, that's fine. I'll give you an example. The people that were near the Coos Bay Boardwalk, even though they're anti-Trump supporters and I disagree with the hell out of them, they weren't in the middle of the street. Why are these people all chilling out in the middle of the street? This isn't peaceful protest. The news will make you think it is, but honestly, I'm just going to say this about the ICE agents being there. Good. Absolutely fine. Like, I just don't understand what the problem is. They wouldn't need to be there if Biden and Kamala didn't leave the gates open. So,
feeling, but of course do it in a peaceful manner.
Yeah. And just again, to underscore, as you were talking to you, we're looking at live video. And look, there's a lot of law enforcement there. Just the posture that we're seeing from law enforcement in your neighborhood. This is a big response, it seems.
Yes, we definitely don't have any local authorities because we don't engage with supporting any of ICE's strategies that they do. So we don't have any local or state agencies collaborating with them. They're working on their own at their own merit at this point.
All right,
Federal agents.
Yeah, Assemblyman Salachi, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for reporting this. And we have to make sure we keep the community safe.
Protests boiling over for a second day in the streets of Los Angeles amid the Trump administration's immigration crackdown.
Here's the thing. The whole immigration crackdown thing needs to be done. Why is it a big deal? Tell me, why is it a big deal? A lot of this has to do with the fucking Biden administration just leaving the gates open. Leaving the fucking gates open, man. It's fucking annoying. It needs to stop. But yeah, no, one of the reasons why Trump got such a huge Latino turnout in the votes is because, like I said, the ones who voted were the legal ones. And they're tired of these people just, they get to cross the border and do whatever the fuck they want. No, that's not how this works. Not how this works at all. So it's bullshit.
CNN correspondent Julia Vargas Jones joining us now from Los Angeles with the very latest. Julia, what's unfolding right now?
Well, these operations are still ongoing in Paramount, California. That's just south of Los Angeles. Jessica, take a listen to what is going on just now.
The average American has a household debt of $104,215. Are you one of them? Your
household debt of $100,000? That's crazy. That's wild. Honestly, I didn't realize, I'm surprisingly good with money. Like, compared to most of the people in my age group, I got it going on. Everybody just gets into debt for stupid shit.
A woman who took another video of this same scene near the Home Depot there, she said that she could smell the tear gas in the air, that officers, federal officers, had come to this Home Depot where generally people gather to offer services, and that it was unclear if anyone was arrested. But we did see a response there from the community trying to impede those officers from carrying out this raid. We did hear from the Department of Homeland Security just moments ago a statement from them saying that, quote, the violent targeting of law enforcement in Los Angeles by lawless rioters is despicable, and Mayor Bass and Governor Newsom must call for it to end. The men and women of ICE put their lives on the line to protect and defend the lives of American citizens.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with ICE being there. Protesters can keep protesting, by the way. Oh, Yoggers, dude, says nice haircut, stud. Thank you, Yoggers. I appreciate it, G. Yeah, got to keep the hair fresh. Got to keep the mussy fresh, and got to do what I can do, man. Keep that mussy fresh. Yoggers is one of our members on the show. He's got the badge to prove it, and even like I said, I member or not, I love all you guys, whether you're a member, whether you're not. But cool thing about being a member, just as a heads up, you guys get special shout outs. So it's basically it makes it to where I can advertise your stuff a lot easier. So it's a way for me to really encourage people to check out other, channels and stuff like that. Like if I can encourage people to, I will still encourage people to check out Yoggers no matter what. But sorry, I was hearing some stuff outside. But yeah, man, it's good shit.
Again, just now we're receiving this, Jessica. This is as we're going into day 2 of these kinds of clashes. Yesterday, raids took place in downtown Los Angeles, at least 3 different locations. One of them, another Home Depot, and the other one was...
Oh, shit, one of them happened in a Home Depot? Well, I guess that makes sense, but, you see a lot of, I mean, if you want to find illegal immigrants, I mean... Home Depot's a good spot to look. It is the truth. Oddly, honestly enough, but wild. I mean, it doesn't shock me in any way. If we're going to be completely honest here. But let's keep watching. Let's keep rolling.
In the fashion district at a business that was allegedly using fictitious documents for some of their workers, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. So we have that going on yesterday and today. And then as the news continued to spread yesterday of these raids, that's when we see protests swelling in downtown Los Angeles, part of the city being paralyzed by these protests as the community was coming together to say that they oppose these kinds of targeted raids and that they were indiscriminate. They were angered by this. Frankly, Los Angeles, a city that has so many immigrants, about 10 million undocumented immigrants in California. A third of them are here in Los Angeles County. So this kind of reaction is to be expected.
Yeah, this is a developing story, Julia. We'll continue to keep an eye on it as things continue to escalate there in Los Angeles. We will certainly keep an eye out for any more developments. Julia Vargas Jones, thanks so much.
Well, so what is my reaction to all this? What do I have to add to this? Well, it makes sense they were trying to look at a Home Depot. It's usually where a lot of undocumented immigrants are, illegal immigrants. It makes sense. It honestly makes sense to me. If people want to protest, they could protest, but quit standing in the middle of the freaking road. Make your voices heard, blah, blah, blah. I mean, truth is, most of the stuff that people protest is so fucking stupid and annoying. So real quick, there's an article that I want to read. It's from Real Garza. It's on the Real Garza website. And we talk about golf and how golf causes erectile dysfunction. It's a good article. It's a swell article. It's very swell. Swell. Oh, hold on. Let me put all messages here. Hold on. I always forget to make all messages visible. Let's take a look. Here we go. Oh, Richard Cook says you're not very intelligent. You lack human qualities. Thank you, Richard Cook. You suck. Twitter is buying. Tim Smith says Twitter is saying you neighbors would be. Television told them. COVID proved this. That's funny. Thank you for. I appreciate the compliment again. I think you gave that time. I can't speak anyway. Let's keep going. Tim Smith says Twitter is saying your neighbors would beat you if the television told them to. It's the right thing to do. COVID proved this. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yager says we're going to be in a civil war before you know it. All these illegals and citizens fighting for the illegals. America has been thrown into an invasion when 32 million illegals are in our country. There's a lot of illegal immigration that's happened. And just like Yager said, we've have too many people in our country just coming on in. I'm sorry, that's not the way it should be. And it gets to a point of ridiculousness. It just blows my mind. All right, so we're going to talk about a product, an issue near and dear to my heart because I don't really watch the Golf Channel, but if I did, I would be this guy, is what I'm trying to say. I would be this man. So watching golf gave me ED, products that can fix it. And this is really supposed to be a representation of my buddy Lambert. Kind of a combination of Lambert and McNally, more than anything. Yeah, sorry about that, Tim. I'm now able to see all the messages. I think the problem is I always forget to put all messages when it comes. It's so stupid. Illegals cost American taxpayers billions of dollars, says Yager's Farm. Yes, it's true. Sending him back's not a bad thing. Richard Cook says Trump pansy. I'd rather vote for Trump than... I'm glad I voted for Trump. I voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, 2024, and I got no problem with it. Yager's Farm said, I want legals. I want migrants the right way. Absolutely. Come through the proper channels. One of the reasons why Trump won the Latino vote, hand over fist almost, is because a lot of them are tired of illegal immigrants coming through. When golf, and I'm going to read a little bit of this. This is a good article. It's on realgarza.com. Make sure you check it out. Realgarza.com. Dick Cook, what are you flapping your gums about? Justin says XRP to $50. How about this? XRP to $0. XRP is crypto grifto money. Anything that's cryptocurrency deserves to go to $0 because that's what it's actually worth. Now, when golf swings kill your swing, let's be real. Golf is the only sport where you can dress like a confused accountant and still be considered an athlete. It's the soothing whispers of commentators, the polite clapping, and the raw thrill of watching a guy line up a putt for 5 minutes that really sends your blood away from your nether regions. 1 minute, I was a healthy, I can't say this word right, virile man yelling at the TV, make the damn shot, Phil. The next, I was Googling, do golf tournaments cause erectile dysfunction? Spoiler, it's not related. It's not a recognized medical condition, but it should be. If you, like me, have found yourself feeling a little underpowered in the bedroom after an overdose of televised tranquility. You're not alone. Let's break down some of the real causes of ED and the products that might just bring your swing back to life. What actually causes ED? Besides watching the Masters, well, blaming golf might sound like the ultimate excuse. Erectile dysfunction can stem from a variety of things. Stress and anxiety, like the fear of slicing your first drive or hearing we need to talk. Poor diet and lack of exercise. If your last vegetable was a jalapeno on nachos, we found the problem. Low testosterone, nature's way of saying you used to be fun. Medical conditions, high blood pressure, diabetes, or just being over 40 and feeling like a broken Roomba. Porn overload. Yes, too much variety can actually wreck the real thing. Thanks a lot, Internet. The hard truth, ED isn't the end of the world. First of all, if you're dealing with ED, you're not broken. You're human. Around 30 million men in the U.S. experience it. That's more than the number of guys who pretend to know how Bitcoin works. You're in good company. So now that we've dropped the shame, let's fix it. The products that might bring your mojo back. Number one, the classic Viagra and Cialis. These little blue and yellow pills are the old reliables. Fast-acting and effective, they increase blood flow faster than a Cardi B performance. They're prescription only They're prescription only, so you'll need a doctor who won't laugh when you say, I lost it during the PGA Tour. Pros, it's effective, quick, makes you feel 25 again. Cons, side effects like headaches, flushing, and explaining the random 4-hour boner during dinner with your in-laws. Number two, natural supplements, the herbal avengers. Some guys don't want pharma, so they turn to supplements. Here are a few worth mentioning. L-arginine helps nitric oxide production, aka natural blood flow booster. Horny goat weed sounds like a joke, but works like a charm. Panax ginseng, the herbal Viagra, now with 20% more zen. Pros, no prescription needed, fewer side effects. Cons, takes longer to work. You can't pop one and expect miracles during commercial breaks. It's true. Testosterone boosters reclaim their... Now, here's the thing. Low testosterone can make you feel tired, moody, and about as sexy as a wet sock. Test boosters can help with that. Look for ones with D-aspartic acid, zinc, vitamin D, fenugreek, smells weird, works wonders. Pros, overall energy boost, improved mood, better libido. Cons, some are total snake oil. Always check reviews or risk buying overpriced powdered lies. At number 4, we have penis pumps, not just for Austin Powers. These look ridiculous, but they actually work. By temporarily increasing blood flow to that area, it's great if you're looking for a quick fix without chemicals. Fast results, non-invasive. This is where the Bathmate comes in, by the way. So I love the Bathmate. It is the greatest. ED happens when you don't take care of your cock properly, yeah. And, Bathmate's good for that, man. Bathmate keeps the blood flowing. Exercise regularly is a good thing. I've been doing more of these exercise ball things. I've been using exercise balls as chairs to keep I'm actually have a hard stomach because of it, but what's the difference between pink and purple? Grip. What's the difference between a microwave and a... it's funny. It's funny when you... That's funny, man. Some good shit, dude. Let's see. Faster. Cons, the least sexy foreplay ever invented. Your partner may laugh. You may too, but be emotionally prepared. Number 5, pelvic floor trainers. Kegels for dudes. You've probably heard women talk about Kegels. Surprise, guys can do them too. And they help. Strengthening your pelvic floor is like upgrading your foundation before the big storm. Pros, it's natural, no equipment required. Cons, you look weird doing them in traffic. My God. Lifestyle changes that actually work. If you're down to do more than just pop pills, here's what helps in the long term. Eat clean. More greens, less grease. Your body is not a garbage disposal. Move that butt. Exercise improves circulation and confidence. Cut back on the booze. Whiskey dick is real. Don't argue. Therapy or stress management. Because your brain has a direct line to your groin. Ditch porn for a bit. Real intimacy is greater than infinite tabs of... oh my God, stepsister gets... This is pretty funny, man. Thank you, Yoggers. I appreciate you guys putting up with this. But make sure if you guys want sexy articles like this, just go to the website realgarza.com. Once again, the website is real REAL Garza.com. Realgarza.com, the greatest website for the gayest of men. The takeaway is this: stop blaming golf. Start taking action. So maybe watching golf didn't actually give me ED. Maybe it just gave me the quiet time to realize something was off. Whatever the case, the solution isn't to throw away your clubs. It's to take your health and your joystick seriously. ED isn't a punchline. It's your body waving a little white flag. But the good news... there are more fixes today than ever before. Whether you go the pill route, hit the herbal highway, or simply do some pelvic squeezes while brushing your teeth, there's hope. Just remember, real confidence comes from facing the problem head on. No pun intended, and not hiding behind excuses like the 18th hole drained me. If this post made you laugh, made you think, or made you Google horny goat weed, do your boy a favor and share it. Sharing is caring on this one. Because somewhere out there, another man is watching golf and slowly fading into plasticity. Let's save him. It's a deep article, man. It's deep. It's deep like my mussy. Hmm. This is good shit, you guys. Wow. I put on some after sun lotion. It should be helping my skin a little bit. In fact, I might put on a little bit more here in a second. I put on as much as I could. Oxy over H says VOO and chill. Here's the thing, man. The problem with just having the S&P 500 basically is, at least my main issue with it, is that it's only US-based companies, right? And as much as I love the US, you got to be exposed to more than just US companies. I do like the VX US though. I think a combination of VTI and VTI is the entirety of the US stock market, and then VX US is basically international companies up the ass. Two of those combined are actually really good in my opinion. Sorry. I love the VX US though. I got well, here's the thing, man. VOO only has the S&P 500 in it, right? So VOO technically gives you 500 companies that are held. VTI gives you the entire U.S. stock market, which is like, what, 5,000 plus? That's good, man. Oxy over Age says, I don't like VTI because VOO is better. But here's the thing, man. Diversification is very, very important. So, like, for example, if VTI during a bear market was going down, that's a good buy. If the VX US is going down, that's a good buy. It's a diversified product. You want to make sure that you're exposing yourself not only to the international companies, but you also want to expose yourself to US companies as well, the entirety of the US stock market. I'm a heavily diversified investor. I can't help myself. It's just kind of one of those things, but Oxy over Age says, yes, VTI is more diversified, but it's not self-cleaning. So here's the thing. That's okay. It's just the entirety of the market, the entirety of the U.S. market. Some companies within it will fail. Most of them will succeed, and they'll do a good job, and they'll do what they need to do. But yeah, VTI is great, man. I love VTI. It's a great ETF, and I'm surprised more people don't tout it. I'm surprised my channel doesn't tout it more often. So there's two ways that you can get international and U.S. exposure to both the markets. The easiest way to do it is just buy the Vanguard Total World Index. That's the VT. But honestly, if you want to have more control on how you allocate your U.S. versus international, just get the VTI and get the VX US. Because like I said, you're getting the entirety of the U.S. market, and then the VX US allows you to get as much of the world, other parts of the world as possible when it comes to those companies out there. So for me, the diversification, how I weight it is kind of up to me, and I have more control over the weighting process when I just have the two separate ETFs. But I'm a multi-ETF kind of guy. I've got ETFs all over the place. I've got ETFs for emerging international markets. I got ETFs for the entire international markets. One of the reasons why I have multiple ETFs is because I love getting paid multiple times during the month. Because each ETF pays at different times during the quarter, at different dates during each quarter. So usually, I should say usually, not all the time. Sometimes they all pay at the same time. Just depends. Oxy over Age says, VT is a poor choice because you can't control allocation. In my opinion, it has too much international. So hold on. So basically, VT is 60% complete U.S. stock market, and then 40% is as international as it can get. I will say this, though. The one thing that pisses me off about the VT is their international allocation is actually not as diversified as the VX US. The VX US is actually far more diversified last time I checked when it comes to the holdings than what is actually held for the international in the Vanguard Total World Index. So you're not getting as much as you would you're getting a lot, but I mean the diversification's there. Getting into the Vanguard Total World Index, man, you're getting over 9,000 different companies in a single index. It's pretty impressive. Like it's huge. It's big. It's so big. But That's the way I look at it, though, and it's kind of my belief system at this point. I mean, look, VT's not for. I mean, I have the Vanguard Total World Index in my portfolio, but I only have like 1 or 2 shares at this point. I have so many other different ETFs that expose me to international companies overall. I have a lot of different international ETFs, surprisingly. One of the reasons I love international stock ETFs is mainly because international companies do pay a higher yielding dividend for the most part, in my experience. So it's kind of a win-win situation if you think about it. You're getting a fat dividend payout, you're getting diversification, but because I want to get paid a dividend almost every single day, I have all the different international ETFs that money can buy. And it's a win-win situation. At least in my opinion, it's a win-win situation. One moment, though. I do have to take a piss. I'll be right back, folks. Gotta go take a tinkle. Probably gonna take a shower here in a bit. Let's see. All right. So, let's see. Oxy over H says thoughts on JEPQ. So is that like the JEPI? Yeah, actually, no. I already have I have the JEPQ and the JEPI. Hold on. Let me look at my portfolio real quick. I'm pretty sure I got JEPQ as well. I got the JEPI and the JEPQ. So the thing is, one of the reasons why... Hold on. Give me a second, folks. Yeah, so I got the JEPI and the JEPQ. So I own both because they use kind of first off, you get derivative income from it and it's actively managed, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's an actively managed fund. Yeah, U.S. large cap companies from the NASDAQ 100 index, assessed and managed using ESG factors and a proprietary data science driven investment approach. The fund also invests in ELNs in seeking income generation. So basically, the whole idea is that the JEPQ is very much an income investor's dream, in my opinion. This is just an opinion, not financial advice. Talk to a financial advisor. But based on my experience. The Jep Q is pretty freaking good. If I were to pick whichever one's better, I prefer the Jeppy, and I'll tell you why. So the Jeppy is more along the lines of the S&P 500 in how it does. It uses like ELNs and stuff like that to deliver the derivative income that is desired. There's other things that the Jeppy does. For instance, Jeppy is an actively managed fund that invests in large cap U.S. stocks and equity linked notes, ELNs. It seeks to provide similar returns as the S&P 500 index with lower volatility and monthly income. The listed name for Jeppy is JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF. So overall, it's a little more actively managed from what I can tell. I like the Jeppy over the Jep Q because there is more diversification within it when it comes to the holdings. So more diversification, a little more security in my opinion. But that's my opinion. The Jep Q is more focused on NASDAQ 100, whereas the Jeppy is more focused on S&P 500. I'm going to go Jeppy all day. That's my opinion. Choose what you like. I prefer the Jeppy though. The expense ratio for the Jeppy is 0.35%. So this is the thing about these covered call ETFs. They're very high yielding, but they do have a bit of a drawback. And one of the main drawbacks for the Jeppy is it has an expense ratio of 0.35%. Now, that is not the worst expense. It's a pretty bad expense ratio. It's not an expense ratio that I'm a fan of, even though I own the Jeppy and the Jep Q. I own both of these ETFs, but I only own a share of each of these. I own a lot of. It's funny. I own a lot of derivative income style ETFs, like a lot. I wouldn't say like they're. It does. And what's irony is it doesn't take up that much of my portfolio because I'm into other different types of exchange traded funds. I'm into index ones, prefer index ETFs over anything. I don't like actively managed ETFs. I'm not a fan of that. But I love derivative income ETFs like with a passion. It gets me sexually stimulated. Just kidding on that one. But let's see. But yeah, Jack's Cab Confession says BTC is the worst. It absolutely is. Total Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme, man. Bitcoin's a Ponzi. It's no different than an ETF. They're both the same pile of shit. Oxy over Age says Jeppy / Jep Q. Jep Q is options trading womp. I'm cool with I'm cool with both of them, to be honest. Like I have both of them in my portfolio. I like them, and it's just interesting, man. Whoa, 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 caught in a bad romance. Whoa, 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 caught it. Oh my God. Trying to figure out, let's see. Put the pedal to the metal and I'm off. I never get lost. One thing for sure. All right, let's see here. Give me a few seconds, everybody. Give me 1 second, folks. I could do early access. Interesting. So I might start tweaking around with like early access stuff, doing early access videos for you guys. Let's see. Oxy Overage says QQQI is sexually. I don't even know what that one is. Do I have that one? Do I have Q? Which one is QQQI? So this one's called Neo's ETF Trust, Neo's NASDAQ 100 High Income ETF. Hasn't been around very long. Let's see, what does it do? Okay, it seeks high monthly income through NASDAQ 100 stocks and call options, pursuing potential equity growth in a tax-efficient manner. Cool. I like it. It sounds like it's probably does cover call shit. I don't know. It's got a high... See, this is the thing, man. Some of these have high expense ratios. 0.68% expense ratio. I don't know. I might have to pass on that one. There's some ETFs that I just don't trust because they're not well known to me. Like the fiduciary, the company, I should say, behind the ETF. If I don't really know who it is, I'm like, I kind of avoid it, you know? Jack's Cab Confession says, if you could go back and change one decision in your life, what would it be and why? It's not there's not one specific decision I would want to change, but I will say the lack of decision is what I would like to change. For example, there were decisions that I wasn't aware I could make. Like, for instance, I didn't realize that I could be financially free at a young age because everybody told me that investing in the stock market was a losing game. And it turned out those people were idiots. I think the only... I guess the one decision that I would love to have changed, that's a tough one because there's not like one decision. I wish I would have decided against listening to other people about investing when I was younger, because I had listened to people who were poor like my parents, and they didn't know what real money was. They didn't know what real assets were, and they were in massive debt, and they thought that somehow they knew more money than other people, and they're delusional because they didn't study anything. They didn't learn anything. And by the way, my dad's one of those limited people who's like, you need to go to college in order to have the degree to be taken seriously in life. It's no, that's stupid. I'm smarter than most people with degrees. I accomplish far more because I learn faster. Sometimes you just got to be talented, and you got to have a little bit of a head on your shoulder. I never went to college, and I'm fucking glad I didn't. college would have been a fucking huge waste of time for me and a huge big debt obligation. So here's the thing. If I would have went to college when my dad was a kid, or when my dad was going to college, which by the way, he never finished college. So it was really annoying for someone like him to tell me to go to college when he never finished it. That pissed me off to no end. My dad has a knack for pissing me off. Like, I don't talk to him. It's tough. I don't talk to him anymore because he's just been such a piece of shit. Kind of have to draw a line at some point. But anyway, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. But yeah, the only decision I regret was the decision for me to listen to other people who were not in the position, you know, that I wanted to be in. I wasn't studying rich people then. If I would have started studying rich people a lot earlier and a lot sooner, I would have had a better idea of what real money was instead of listening to my poor broke ass fucking parents who all they did was envy people. So that's one thing. Let's see. And let's see. Google, Tim Smith says, Google AI says, well, Michael Saylor's favorite food isn't publicly known. He is known for his, oh no. He is known for his strong belief in Bitcoin. His focus seems to be more on Bitcoin as an investment than on specific foods. What the hell, Tim? That's funny. Oh, man. Let's see. Scrooty McBooger says, First commandment is to honor your father and mother. Yeah. Problem is they're not honorable people, so... My mom's gotten better over the years, but she definitely is one of the reasons I don't trust women. And it's tough. It's been a tough thing to get over. Like, people don't always think about this because they're too busy simping for women. But when you have a toxic mom growing up, it changes your perspective on women. You become very mistrusting of women. And as much as I care about my mom, love her, and all that, at the same time, and granted, by the way, I've worked with plenty of women. No problem. I've had plenty of women supervisors, for example. No problem there. I had trouble establishing like intimate relationships with women because of how much I avoided women to begin with, right? Yeah. And so I don't know. I just I really do I don't know. I just yeah, it's tough for me to honor them though. It's tough for me to honor them, man. I just don't know what, thank you guys for giving me life. Surprisingly, my life turned out way better than I expected it to. So I wanted to get it together desperately. And when you're desperate enough, you do a lot to get your life back in order. Oxy over H says, I like your latest video. I agree. Crypto is trash. Yep. It certainly is. Jack's Cab Confession says, what do you think the purpose of life is? I don't know. For me, there's a few answers to this, actually. I don't think there's... I mean, if you're looking for the universal purpose, like what is the universal purpose of life? It's possible that purpose is actually a construct that we've created, Is there a need for purpose? That's an interesting thought, I've considered the possibility that, purpose is a thing that we create, and maybe purpose is not required. Maybe things do just happen. And it is possible maybe there is no rhyme and reason for the things to happen. And maybe it's possible that order can be spawned throughout chaos. Now, the question is, can something be created from nothing? That's a big question. But But the purpose of life, it's a big one. I don't know what the purpose is. But if I were to guess, I don't know if there is one. And that sounds depressing, but it may be really, I don't know. I don't think it is. I was depressed when I came to that conclusion at a younger age. That there may not be a purpose to any of this. But then I started thinking, well, that's kind of nice. It's kind of a weight off my shoulder, you know? Less pressure. You know, I can at least live out the rest of my days in relaxation. It helps to some degree that none of this really matters. In the universal scheme of things, of course. Now, what matters to me? That matters to me. It's relative to me. Now, purpose is a relative thing. Universally, there may be no purpose to any of this. However, we do have the ability to create purpose for ourselves. Purpose is a relative perspective. So, since we can conclude that purpose is mostly perspective and can't really be a universal concept, I guess you could say the purpose of life, I mean, as cheesy as it sounds, it's up to you. What do you want your purpose to be? I've determined mine for the most part. I want to help people. I want to do my best to help animals that are struggling. I want to be the best boyfriend I could be to the woman I love, you know? I want to make her life a lot better as best as I can. And, so, I mean, that's my purpose, you know? Overall, universally speaking, purpose may not be in the universe's vocabulary if we're talking about a universal purpose to what life is. So I feel that purpose is a very small concept, only integrated into the human psyche. You know, it's crazy, huh? Because human beings need a purpose, right? We need there to be a reason for things. But I think it's kind of haunting to us when there isn't a purpose. That freaks us out. Rightfully so. Tim Smith says, fart coin rallies. It's, up 3%. Okay. You gotta stop the train. Fart coin. Fart coins at $1.30. Let's look at the market. Let's look at the timeline of fart coin here on what's this shit called? Coinmarketcap.com. Let's take a look at the timeline here. It's bad. Oh, it went below 99. Oh, it's for the day. Look at the week. Is there a way to short this stuff? Like, the question I have to ask is there a way for me to bet against, like, fart coin, you know? I don't really know what sort of markets exist that would give me the ability to bet against this garbage. I could ask Chat GPT real quick, how can I bet against fart coin? Let's ask. What's that? New chat. How do I bet against fart coin? I'm just doing this on a separate window, by the way. I'm not doing this in the Firefox window. I'm doing this in Chrome. What's your dream job? Actually, this. if we're going to be honest, my dream job is actually doing this, where I talk about investing, answer people's questions. I mean, I already answer people's questions on the daily. I take roughly about like 55 to 70 calls on a day-to-day basis when I'm working my job. So I'm answering questions that and doing things that it's a good job. I mean, I'm good at it. I don't like the supervisors that I have to work under. They've really worn out their, they're on thin ice with me. I'm on thin ice with them, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm on thin ice with the job. I'm on thin ice everywhere on it. So, yeah. Jack's Cab, dude. Thank you for being on here, Jack's Cab. I appreciate you. Let's take a look and see what they're saying. So here's how to bet against Fartcoin, essentially how to profit when it drops. So margin trading, sell short spot with leverage. On Binance, Binance is stupid. I don't even know if Binance still exists. You could short Fartcoin with leverage. Guidelines include limiting leverage, blah, blah, blah. Futures contract short via derivative platforms. MEXC offers Fartcoin futures where you can take a short position using leverage. It works like any futures market. You open a contract betting the price goes down. If it goes down, you profit. Other exchanges, crypto derivatives, blah, blah, blah. For perpetual futures, letting you... Interesting. It's kind of cool. BitTrue lists a 3x inverse ETF. Short. If it fart drops, this token should rise 3x. It offers a simple buy and hold method to short Fartcoin. Let's see. Interesting. We got Binance on chain. So it's funny. This is one of the reasons I prefer using ETFs for any like derivative income that you can get, because I can bet against. Well, I take that back. I could actually bet against a spot Bitcoin ETF easily by writing covered call contracts. That could be done, and I could use like whatever I got as collateral. But I don't know. Either way, all I know is that the easiest way to short Bitcoin is through the SBIT, which honestly they write. I mean, they get their derivative contracts from wherever they do it. They're the experts in getting those contracts. You see, it's easy for me to buy call contracts and put contracts in the stock market because it's all, those markets are easily accessible through any brokerage. When it comes to betting against crypto, it's a weird one. And I usually like to leave it to the experts when it comes down to it. So at least that's the way I look at it. Yep. Got the chip, man. Jack's Cab Confession says CFD trading. I don't know what that is, to be quite honest, what you're saying. But I've never heard that acronym before. So I've got zero clue. I would never trade crypto, though, because here's the thing. If you're trading crypto, you're trading a product that has an intrinsic value of 0. So if you buy into it and that day it happens to go down like crazy, you're fucked. That's why I love betting against Bitcoin so much. When I see Bitcoin go up on a bull run, I'm always betting against it. I'm like, dude, buying the S-bit, buying the BITI, the biddy, you know. It's the way I roll. I bet against Ponzi schemes, man. That's what I do. Jazz Cab Confession says contracts for difference. A way to vet again. Oh, okay. Contracts for difference. Let me ask GPT a little bit on this. What are contracts for difference? So they're financial derivatives that allow you to speculate on the price movement of assets, like stocks, crypto, commodities, indices, etc., without owning the underlying asset. How CFDs work. A CFD is essentially a bet between you and a broker on whether the price of an asset will go up or down. Here's how it plays out. You open a position. If you want to go long, you buy. If you think the asset will go up, you go short, you sell. If you think the asset will go down, price moves. If the price moves in your favor, you earn the difference between the opening and closing price. If it moves against you, you owe the broker the difference. Interesting. You close the position. The profit loss is settled in cash. No delivery of actual assets like shares or crypto. For example, let's say you think Fartcoin will drop from $1 to 60 cents. You open a short CFD position with a broker at $1. Fartcoin drops to 60 cents. You close the CFD and profit 40 cents per token, minus any fees or spreads. Now, that's the thing. I don't know how many fees go into this, is the thing. I still love ETFs, man. I love leveraged ETFs because it allows me, if the leveraged ETF dips, it allows me to get in on that dip, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, it's fun shit. Now, it's saying bottom line, now here's the pros and cons. Now, this is not financial advice. Don't even construe it as that, but here's the pros and cons that are listed, that GPT listed. So pros are trade rising or falling markets, access to a wide range of markets, fast execution and high liquidity, great for short-term speculation. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It does allow you to bet against things that are stupid. Cons are high risk due to leverage. You don't own the actual asset. Overnight fees and spreads. Banned, restricted in some companies. It's basically gambling. So I will say that CFDs, well, being a cool prospect, I don't know if necessarily I'd feel comfortable doing that. I'm just going to keep betting against Bitcoin, though, using the ETF that I use, the S-bit, which uses swaps and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. I think CFDs are pretty much swaps, though. If I'm right, I'm a little stupid with some of the terminology, if we're going to be honest. Yager's Farm says things are getting hairy in LA. Yeah, that's what I was reading or watching earlier. Dude, I can't believe what's going on in LA right now. It actually is kind of shocking. Let's see if there's any Any updates on it? We're in the water. Cool water. Oh man, the immigrant. So there's live. We got live footage right now. Hold on.
I'm scared. But when Verizon
We're
announced
getting
that I
all
could
this
lock in a
live
low
right
price
now.
for
Let's
3
see.
years, I mean,
The live chat
that's
is
what I'm talking about.
Deport. Wow, these.
Can you hear me now?
The chats are great for this. So let's see. There's probably a helicopter footage right now. Let's see. LAPD declares unlawful assemblies. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of people just sitting out in the streets. Get out of the streets. It's so ridiculous, man. They should not be in the streets. They should be on the sidewalks. Streets are meant for traffic. Come on. Yeah, I'm on side mega on this one. Make America great again, dude. Seriously. Oh, hear a little bit of audio.
Chris Christie is not with me right now, correct?
Well, I mean, kind of looking at this video, it looks like there's just people just kind of down there. Just, everybody's just going in the streets. What the hell? Get out of the streets, dude. These comments are great. I'm kind of taking a look at some of the comments that are on this ABC live footage at the moment, but yeah, it's I don't know what to say about this. I mean, protest if you want, just get out of the streets. You know, you gotta be able to go on the sidewalks at least or something. Yeah, it's pretty wild, man, but well, I mean, there's really nothing going on, nothing of substance, so I'm just gonna go back. Let's see what else we could find on the riots going on. Oh, we get to watch my boy Jordan for a bit though. Hold on.
It's as dumb as it sounds. And someone's lawyers recently thought it was a joke for a sock puppet account, and as you can tell, these lawyers don't understand a master debater joke when they see one. But I digress. Now, on this channel, I only made about 5 videos with little to no commentary, and even though I don't subscribe to most of that worldview nowadays, I still did find a few things helpful at the time. But I did notice something about that sector of the internet. That there were the
By the way, just a fun fact, this is my boy, Mr. Nobody. Good friend of mine. Known him since we were kids, man. Since we were like in... He's friends with my brother. I consider him a friend as well. But he's great. He's a great dude. I love him. I have fun. Here's the thing, man. The man's a master entertainer. And I hope he keeps doing YouTube. And I hope he keeps making money on it. Because I'd like to see more content from him. He's entertaining. He's thoughtful. He's an intelligent dude. So, honestly, make sure you guys check out his channel. Support him in some way. I don't care if it's like watching his videos and, you know, doing that, watching his ads and stuff on there. Just support him in some way, you guys. I appreciate it. All right, let's keep watching.
these faceless channels that would make videos that would play maybe 5 clips from some like TikTok of women saying something stupid, and the creator would pause the video, do a voiceover for like 30 seconds, and then move on to the next clip and do the same thing over and over again, rinse and repeat. And they could do this every day. And I was thinking, well, that sounds like the easiest fucking thing in the world. I can give it the old college try. Now, for these videos, I didn't have a microphone or any legit setup at the time. I just had this cruddy laptop that, hold on, that I still had to this day. So what I thought was, if I can make clips...
No, we gotta see that Acer real quick. Hey, Acer's a good brand. It's a good laptop, though. It looks a little dented. Hold on. Honestly, all things considered, even if it's an old laptop, man, he's kept that thing in pretty good shape. If I do say so myself, let's take a look here.
That people would like no commentary, then hopefully people... I just had this cruddy laptop that... Hold on.
Oh, here we go.
That I still had to...
He's got a little tape on there. He's probably dented it a few bits, but it looks good overall, man. It looks like he's kept that thing intact.
This day. So what I thought was, if I can make clip compilations and create a highly edited story that people would like no commentary, then hopefully people would like it, and people did like it. A lot. I was averaging 10 to 30,000 views per video, and one of my videos really took off and got over 100,000 views. And for some reason, YouTube allowed me to get monetized with little to no commentary. I honestly have no idea why. But what I understood is that I was searching out these kinds of videos at the time. So I had a bit of knowledge on keywords and type of content that I was interested in during this point in my life. Now, this might lead you to ask, why did you stop after 5 videos? Well, here comes lesson number 1. You have to like what you're doing. And not only did I not like what I was doing, I was straight up getting bored.
That's the thing, you know. One of the things I told Jordan, what I do is simple. I kind of stick to what I'm into. Like when it comes to the YouTube space, like one of the reasons my channel took a little bit of time to kind of lift off is because I needed to just keep making more content. Really, that's what it boiled down to. And you know, do a little more research into what I'm into. Like for instance, this channel is pretty much, my channel is an investing channel for the most part. I do play games occasionally because I love playing games in front of you guys. I'm kind of a variety channel. I'm like the Walmart. I'm like Walmart basically, except for I ain't wearing PJs right now. No, just kidding. But I got nothing on down here. But yeah, no, overall I think that he seems to be doing, so my boy Mr. Nobody is doing what he wants to do now, which is the most important thing. He's streaming games he wants to play. He's talking about the things he wants to talk about. He's a gamer. He and we've been playing video games for a long time. Not like online together, but like we used to play games back in the day, you know. That's the thing. And he's a gamer through and through, man. And I'm glad to see him doing something he's into. So, yeah, huge shout out to him to just really, because if you're going to make content about things that, one, that you know about. He knows gaming. He loves gaming. And the second thing is, like I said, you got to do what you love. when it comes to making content.
And it's kind of like,
so that's why I play video games. I play the old school games. I talk about investing. I enjoy reacting to videos because I do go on YouTube quite a bit, but I kind of react to videos that I would normally watch is what I react to. That's simply what I do. And it's the easiest thing. Because if it's something I would normally watch, I stay engaged in it. And honestly, being able to watch my buddy, who I've grown up with, be successful on YouTube the same way that I've been successful. Maybe not the same way. We both got successful in different ways on YouTube, but we're both successful nonetheless. Success has many routes, and I'm proud to see. Oh, I gotta give him a like on this one. I'm proud to see him on a successful route. It makes me very happy. Let's see. Tim Smith on the chat says, X update. Home prices never stop rising in dollars, yet have dropped 99% over the last decade in Bitcoin terms. Stop living in your dollars and start living in your Bitcoin. Ugh. Who's saying that on X? Tim, don't tell me. If Elon said that, that sickens me because like Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, and the only reason Bitcoin goes up is because there's too many idiots actually buying into it and nobody's selling. You know, I have a big problem with Bitcoin. I think it's unethical. I don't think it's as great as everybody says it is. And here, the irony is, the whole idea was it was supposed to be decentralized and the whole idea was for it to stay away from the big financial institutions. The sad part is a lot of the financial institutions have intentionally bought all the Bitcoin out there at lower prices. And, well, there are people who sold. And the thing is, it just depends how many people are willing to hold. And I just think that there are so many people that don't actually believe in Bitcoin that they're just buying into it because they think it's going to keep going up forever. And we all know that anything with an intrinsic value of 0 eventually goes back down to 0, back down to where it needs to be, or near 0 levels. Let's keep watching.
what Shakespeare said. Love is not love, which alters when its alteration finds. So I just stopped. And after about a year of not creating content, YouTube finally realized that my channel was just reused clips. I mean, I would say that they were highly edited. I mean, it would take me 6 hours, but they rightfully suspended me from the monetization program.
That's the thing. They suspended me as well for reused clips. And what I did was I was using AI to edit like Donald Trump being on like Joe Rogan and stuff like that. And I didn't add any commentary. It wasn't an original production by me, essentially. Doing this, I'm actually reacting to videos right now. You guys obviously see that I am. And that's the way it is. And that's the way it is. Hold on, I gotta upload something real quick. Give me a second, folks. This is actually probably gonna interrupt the stream so much. I just realized that as I was doing it. It was a response to Coinbase telling people that houses get cheaper if you have Bitcoin. Hold on. Oh, I see what you're saying. They're saying that instead of owning a home, own Bitcoin. Okay, I think that makes a little more. I was not understanding that at all. I'm not going to lie. Houses get cheaper if you buy Bitcoin. Yeah, here's the thing, man. The only reason Bitcoin goes up is because a bunch of morons have decided to hold it. Eventually, they're going to have to sell. That's the whole point. And Bitcoin's just too stupid. There's nothing of value about it. You can't live in the Bitcoin. You know, there's nothing great about it. It doesn't. It's honestly, Bitcoin complicates money more than it solves money. In order to store Bitcoin, you have to have some sort of technology. Like you can't just put Bitcoin in your wallet. Like I'm talking about your physical wallet. There's not a lot of advantages to that. Bitcoin's just such a Ponzi scheme. It makes me sick that our generation has fallen for such a trap. If I'm being honest. Tim Smith is saying they're telling you to buy a house with Bitcoin. Oh, God. How can you buy? Okay, I guess you could buy a house with Bitcoin by selling the Bitcoin, and then here's the problem with selling the Bitcoin though for dollars. If you sell the Bitcoin for dollars, you're going to get taxed in some way for whatever gains that you got. That's one thing. For any gains, I should say. Any profits from the Bitcoin. And then you would use the dollars to then buy the house right then and there. But here's the thing, man. Are there realtors that are accepting Bitcoin? Like, seriously. I'll give you an example. Like, let's say I wanted to buy a house with Bitcoin. Let's say I did have $400,000 worth of Bitcoin. I don't, but let's say I did. What then? Like, are there realtors that would actually accept the Bitcoin directly? Like, would they? This is why I think Bitcoin's a joke. You can't buy any major stuff with Bitcoin. That's why I think it's the biggest joke, and you can't take Bitcoin seriously is really what I'm trying to get at. It's just not something you should take seriously because it's a joke. Anyway, that's crazy. Let's hold on. How is the stream looking, by the way? It's probably looking shitty. How's the stream health going? Stream is still healthy. All right. Put the pedal to the metal and I'm off. I never get lost. Put the pedal to the metal and one thing's for sure, keep my foot on the floor. All right, sorry guys, I'm uploading something to the podcast on Spotify. I keep Spotify as a backup plan because I never know. I'm monetized on Spotify, which is pretty cool. So let's see, I'm monetized on Spotify. I'm actually monetized on YouTube, obviously, because, memberships and super chats and stuff. But I'm almost to the point where I can get watch time hours. So I am trying to clean up the act of the show a little bit. Not too much. I'm still going to stay the way I am, but Tim Smith says X says 1 Bitcoin equals 1 pension a lot sooner than you think. Like, even though Bitcoin goes up rapidly, it still doesn't mean that Bitcoin is a worthy investment. It just means that people are pumping into it because they don't want to miss out. It's the definition of fear of missing out. It's basically FOMO to all degrees. And BRB, hell yeah. Okay.
But as much as I have changed as a person since then, I don't regret my time making that content because unknowingly I learned lesson number 2. Practice, practice, practice.
Exactly. You got to practice. You got to throw paint on the wall. You got to keep trying. And you got to try differently too. Analyze what you did. Figure some shit out. He's on the right track, man. That's one of the reasons why I'm happy about what Jordan's been able to accomplish. Keep it up, man. Let's see what you got, brother. And then we got an ad.
Doug.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Because I believe even though it was just clips, I practiced editing. Believe it or not, I would spend 5 or 6 hours on editing clips together to have a comprehensive theme so that the audience would feel moved. And I think I accomplished that. And without that experience of editing on Filmora that I still edit on to this day, even on a dumb red pill channel, I can't hate on the valuable editing lessons I was accidentally learning just by doing something. Because I started looking at other YouTube channels very differently and started to kind of understand why they made the decisions they did for their videos. So it was a great learning experience. Now skip forward to August of 2024, or it might have been July, and I'll post a thing right here. I made my first homeless video because, like many viewers on this channel know, I was homeless for about 7 months from May 2024 to November of 2024. But during that time, I learned a lesson.
It's sad that my man had to go through that, though. You know, I'm glad he's back up on his feet, man. And this is one of the reasons why I want everybody to go and support his channel. Because I've known him for a long time. I really do think he's a good dude. And I'm honestly proud of him, man. He's come a long way. I love to see the effort, you know, the real effort. He's doing a great job too. Like, not only is the effort there, which is commendable, but he's producing results at the man's a savant, dude. The man's a savant, and I hope he keeps pushing out content, man. Even if it's not the greatest content, doesn't matter. Sometimes, you know, even the greatest artists write some duds, you know. So he's a natural born entertainer. So let's keep listening.
Lesson number 3. Be resourceful. At the time, I had a backpack, that same cruddy laptop, and a cell phone. Where not only did I learn how to film and edit live action, I needed to be resourceful and would use the local library's internet to edit my videos. Because the only editor I had kind of had to connect to the internet, and I still had to even upload. And by the way, I was no slouch. I was also working full-time doing night crew at a big box store, and would sleep on the university campus lawn during the day. Now, my reasoning for this at the time was because I was doing my best to avoid being at the homeless shelter at the time. You know, you're not...
That's understandable. You know, some of the people there at the homeless shelter are, you know, not exactly the kindest, could be pretty rough to them, man. So
homeless if you go to the homeless shelter mentality, which was dumb, but you know, eventually, especially when it started getting cold, I kind of had to go. But I didn't have a choice to be resourceful. By the way, this is one of my proudest videos I made while I was homeless. It's in the description down below. I really hope you check it out. I am really proud of it. But by September, I was working a whole different job, and I was working 60 plus hours a week, taking care of 3 men with intellectual developmental disabilities as a direct support professional, going back and forth from the homeless shelter and work. So I didn't have time to make videos at all until I ended my homelessness in November of 2024. Now, again, there's additional background story that I'm skipping over.
I'm so glad he made this video, man. I really am. Like, this is great. I'm learning a lot. I didn't realize some of the stuff that he was going through. But also, I'm learning more about his mindset. Dude, the guy's got a keen mind. I really enjoy listening to him. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm messaging my girlfriend. It takes. I'm a slow typer on this shit. But I had to message my girl real fast. So hold on. Let me.
That isn't relevant for this video, but if you want some additional context, check out the video at the end screen of this video, or it's in the description down below. I do suggest getting some Kleenex first before you watch it, though. It gets a little emotional, just letting you know. On to lesson number 4, creator investment, also known as
don't do what I did.
No, don't. Do it differently.
Yeah, it's true. Do it your own way, too. That's the thing. He did... he made the content he wanted to create. You got to make the content you want to create. It's good if somebody's doing something that you like, certain techniques, copy those techniques. Obviously, I think it's good to steal certain techniques. I like the way he sets up the microphone, to be honest. I like the way he centers himself. I think the overall persona. So I'm not going to copy what my boy's doing, but watching him gives me ideas, which is fun.
Okay, please. Now, because I've been working at my job like a madman and continue to do so after I moved into my new place, I raised about
let's see. Martin says Bitcoin was created by the CIA, so gold and silver didn't go to the moon. That actually is that's a pretty good, Martin. That's a good theory. That's a hell of a theory, by the way. That makes sense, though. Because if you create something that people can fawn over and think is worth money, which, honestly, gold and silver are the real money, if we're going to be quite honest. They call it God's money, but, that's the real deal. Hold on, I'm going to... Give me... subscribe to @nobody has spoken. There we go. Yeah, that's my boy's channel right there. It's @nobody has spoken. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna watch a little more of this.
$1,000 so that I can have this bedroom studio that I have now. By the way, before I became homeless, I bought this exact webcam and green screen with no plan. So it was literally sitting in a storage unit for 7 months while I was homeless. I don't know what I was thinking, but it ended up paying off. Right? And then I ordered a computer from Meta PC, and I don't know a lot about computers, but as much as I wanted to get something from Starforge and support creator like Asmongold, I needed to have what I needed in the price range for what was reasonable to me. And the Flurry V2 from Meta PC was it. So I spent $1,499 for this PC.
That's funny, because that's about the price I paid for my HP
for
Envy.
2-day shipping.
So I know you guys can't see this.
$29.37 for shipping insurance for a total cost of $1,649.
So I know you guys can't see the computer to the side, but it's a big old HP Envy. Normally it would go for $2,300 or whatever, but I got it on clearance deal on Amazon. I got this for a steal of a deal, so I feel like I kind of got away with robbery a little bit. But yeah, I only paid like $1,300 for it. Really good deal. The hardware in this is pretty fucking solid. And I like HP. They're honestly one of my favorite computer companies, so I always go with HP as my main computer.
59 cents. Now, let me be clear. If you don't have the money, do not do this. Because I went all out with lights, this microphone, this arm. And I did that because I had a nice little savings nest around me at the time. But I was pretty dedicated to having, high production value, or at least as high as I could possibly get. I actually ordered these lights. I'm actually only using one of them, but I ordered these 2 lights in December, months before I got my PC in February. And understand, it wasn't necessarily that I was planning on being a prominent creator in any sense of the word. It was just that after 7 months of being homeless, it was nice to have something nice. But that isn't the reality for most people or most creators. So please invest in your channel slowly and wisely. Just because I was able to do this twice doesn't mean I'm immune to stupidity.
Man, God. I will say this, dude. Mr. Nobody. Try not to. Mr. Nobody my buddy, is he's an insightful dude. Like, you guys really, and this is one of the reasons we're trying to encourage all you fuckers to subscribe to this man, because he knows what he's talking about. Like, I think he could get most people on the right track, because I think because he's been doing things like theater and acting for so long, and he's such a natural born, he has charisma. It doesn't surprise me in any way that he's been able to have the success that he's having on YouTube. And that's why I told him, it's like, dude, you have the complete package. You are what people are coming to see. I don't think I told him that, but I've thought it a few times. But honestly, he's what people want to see. So it's crazy, man. I love seeing the progress he's made. It's
I am
cool.
not. I am a dumbass that talks shit online on the internet. Lesson number.
You're a pretty dope dumbass, man. You're the man. You're not a dumbass though, dude. I know plenty of dumbasses. You ain't a dumbass.
5, the niche made simple. This is where I would say my second round of 90 days really started. My first video was about a former Kotaku editor named Alyssa Mercante, who's a polarizing figure to say the least. And all I did was do some basic research about articles she wrote while she was in college. And all I did is check to see if anyone else had covered it. No one had, so I hit record. I didn't have a script because this was completely different than anything I had ever done. Because my videos now are what some might call commentary talking head videos, which is a term that is colloquially coined from talking heads. When you look on mainstream news channels. Long story short, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even set my mic up correctly for that video, which is why I sounded awful, even with this like $200 microphone. I didn't have a script, which I primarily do for 90% of my videos now. But I learned something very simple that day.
I will admit, he puts more effort into his channel than mine. He does. I mean, I still put effort, don't get me wrong. I put a different kind of effort. I hate video editing. That's why I prefer doing live videos, because it requires no editing. And I think that this kind of format works for me, at least. You know, it's just like Jordan said. I mean, he basically was saying, you know, you got to go your own route, basically. The route that Jordan took is not the route when it comes to the YouTube process. The route I took was vastly different. Definitely mine's more slow and steady for sure. It's more my pace. But that's just it. You know, we take our different approaches. I'm amazed by what he's been able to accomplish, man. And not even surprised. I'm amazed, because none of his success is surprising, because I know the kind of dude he is. He puts in the work, and shit happens. That's just who he is. He's a good dude. Satoshi Nakamoto. Let's see. Martin says Satoshi Nakamoto means Central Intelligence in Japanese. I don't know. You might have to fact check that. I have no idea how real that is. Tim Smith says Josh Denny on the LA riots. The fact that they aren't flying our flag tells you all you need to know. That makes sense to me. Just get him out of here. I don't know. I get it, man. God. You're right. Let's keep watching.
Reporting the news, and there is making the news. And to this day, my video is the primary source that covers this article. My video on Alyssa Mercante's weird dissertation is the main source. My finding Alana Pierce's audio saying that she wrote a God of War Ragnarok, allegedly, are the main sources here on YouTube. And my videos aren't anything special. I'm just a weirdo with a ski mask who does his best to find things that his creator friends would enjoy. So I wouldn't rely on that solely if you want to become a YouTube partner or just a creator in general, but it's a good start. Make something you think a creator in your similar niche would want to watch themselves. On to lesson number 6. Quality audience.
So I have a bit of a disagreement with that. Like, I agree with it partially. I think you need to find something, the target audience that you have, the target audience you have in your mind. I'm poorly explaining this. You need to, how do I say this? You're making this for their enjoyment, but you're also making this because you believe it's important for them to hear. Whatever it may be, you may want to entertain people, you may want to educate people, you may want to do both or something beyond that. I don't know where I was getting at with that. Sorry. Yeah, he's making some good points though.
And
a lot of good points. Actually,
where I lucked out
he's been spot on this whole video. I love it.
Big time, because I did have an unfair advantage the second time around, but not as much as you would think. Most small creators like myself can get reacted to by the biggest channels in the world, and almost little to no growth can come for it. It's kind of potato. You never know what's going to happen. Just maybe depends on the creator, maybe depends on interest, maybe depends on the niche. You never know, but a lot of the times you don't get a lot of growth from it, and those viewers don't really come back. Now enter Smash JT. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details in this video, but again, please watch this video in the description down below, or it'll be at the end screen of this video if you want more context. There is a lot of context. Still get Kleenex. I am not sponsored by them, but I could be bought. Long story short, I was a mod for his channel, and at the time, we probably wouldn't have called each other friends or colleagues, but I did show him the video, and he was kind enough to react to it on his channel. Now, just because I had that connection doesn't mean that Smash JT would have reacted to my video with his audience if he didn't think that my video was at least decent. And he would say that to this day, because the video quality isn't great. The audio is messed up, and it was my first time on the fly with no script. But
pretty impressive, to be honest. It's pretty impressive to me. Oh, I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. I am a little bit tired, and I definitely need to go take a shower because I've been out in the sun all day. I put some aftershun lotion on me, but I need a little bit of a shower. But hey, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to view this video, though, as always. Hey, make sure you guys subscribe to, real quick before I go, subscribe to @NobodyHasSpoken. That's my buddy, we'll call him Mr. Nobody. I try not to reveal too much about him, but he's awesome. So subscribe to it. The channel name is called Nobody, but his alias on there is @NobodyHasSpoken, as you can see right there. He does a lot of like gaming and stuff like that. It might be somebody you'd want to watch, if you like to watch people play video games. It is fun to stream video games, though. It's one of the reasons why I do it every now and then on this channel. But yeah. All right, but I'll catch y'all later. Make sure you guys subscribe. If you don't subscribe, if you don't subscribe to my boy, I'm gonna get pissed. Martin says, fact check it, please. The creator of Bitcoin was called CIA. Oh, wow. That's crazy. All right, I'll catch y'all later. It doesn't surprise me that if the CIA made Bitcoin, that would not shock me in the slightest, if that's true. It doesn't shock me at all. But I'll catch y'all later. I'm out. Subscribe to my boy. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate you, buddy. And I've been appreciating them super chats, though. That was awesome, by the way. All those super chats you've been throwing out. I appreciate it big time, man. All right. Make sure also, anybody who wants to become a channel member today or any day you want. Please like the video and become a channel member today. We need more subscriptions as much as we can get. Try